Thanksgiving Day.
You said it
in
perfectly.
The same outfit.
Look at that. Thanksgiving Day in the same outfit.
Thanksgiving Day.
Thanksgiving Day.
Yes.
Well, we went through the woods and we went to grandmother's house, but neither one of us are. So we got into a great conversation yesterday. The naked art of being a Gemini woman.
Yes.
We were talking about age gaps in dating, and I think that's a great thing to look at, because I think a lot of people in today's world look at, because of swipe dating and everything else, they look for a certain range of dating.
Yep.
Now for me, how old do you say I look?
I would say that you look like late 40s.
Okay, so that gives me 6-7 years of extra juice. Okay, I'll go for it.
In the face, a little younger.
Yeah, it's
definitely.
It's that gray.
But it's like distinguished. It's like distinguished. That's why I say. So like I would say face like mid 40s.
Okay, good. I'll take the mid 40s.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a secret to being younger. Okay, and I'm going to share it with you because you have great skin. So you're going to be that woman. And I think old souls stay younger because we realize that we're in this body right now and we're fucking appreciative that we came out hot again.
Yes.
Right?
Thank God.
Isn't that fucking cool?
God.
Isn't that like the best? Like
ooh.
Not to sound egotistical
Another
or anything,
round,
but shit. I remember my last life, I was in the 50s, okay, and I was a car driver, and I remember crashing my car and dying. And I remember, because I have a fascination with 50s jackets and jeans and, biker jackets and old cars and everything else. And my first word was cars. So I've always been an old soul. But when it comes out of dating, I've never looked at, and this is really important, I think a lot of guys will look at you, the older guy looking, oh, I gotta have her, and like, meanwhile, you're a soul. They're not looking at the soul, they're looking at the outer.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of men get so caught up in the age thing, and that's why we were talking off camera that I've dated all ages. I've never looked at age. I'm not, and it's something that I think is really important. I've never looked at an age of a person, I look at the soul of the person. Because just because somebody is 30 or 35 or 40 or 45 years old, I'm looking at that soul. What can her soul teach me? What can I learn from her? How can we support one another's dreams and desires? How can we fucking grow as souls together? Because to me, there's nothing better than a soul connection.
It is the best. I think that's what everyone strives for, but they don't know that they're striving for it, And I think so many people are just so uninvolved, whether they're a young soul or whether they don't believe in it or whatever. So many people, and that's been my biggest challenge in dating, is the unevolved soul, I guess we could call it that.
How do you deal with that? Okay, so being a woman in Los Angeles, okay, and it could be anywhere. You lived in Miami, you lived in New York,
Boston. I was born in New Mexico.
You were born in New Mexico. So you have this, New Mexico, Santa Fe Flea Market, best one
I was born in Santa Fe.
Love Santa Fe. Special place to me. Ojo Caliente, did you ever go there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, remember when it was a dump and a dive, and now it's like $350 a night?
Yeah, now it's like super fancy. I know. My parents were always like, Yeah, because we left when I was like 7, but my parents, they're like, that place used to be a shithole, and now it's like, whew, it's all fancy and...
Oh, the shithole. I used to go there, because I got that age grap on you, and my soul would go there, and it was a fucking shithole. Like, I wouldn't even stay there. The food was a shithole, but the mud wraps were unbelievable, and the energy of that grounds was so beautiful. So how is it dating as a woman? Because I know as a man, I don't look at, and I'll tell you from my perspective, right, on this Turkey Day 2017, I look at beauty. What attracts me, and it's always the abundant mindset. To me, I've always dated beautiful women, so that's already checked off. I already know I'm going to date a beautiful woman. No matter how old I am, no matter where I'm at, there's always going to be a beautiful women that are attracted to me. And it all starts with mindset, right? Yeah. But I look at the soul. I see who is this person, and it's energy. There's energetics between two people. You can feel people. For instance, if you think about the entire panel, we sat next to each other, and I enjoyed your company. The rest of them, I don't even say goodbye. See you later. Yeah. I love Brian, because I've known Brian for years. But, everybody else was just like, had 2-second conversation and it was done. Exactly. So there is something that in life, I think, when two souls recognize one another as equals, you tend to talk to that person so much more. So what is it being a woman living in Los Angeles? Because it is a fucking grind here, where everything is It's like I think Bumble and Tinder should be soulless swiping.
Soulless swiping, exactly.
So what is it, and where is your vision? So I promised you we would talk about your vision, and you had 8 pages, right? Did you tell me?
So far I'm up to 8 because a couple months ago, I would say in March, I did a 6-page list. Only because I decided this year I turned 30, which thank goodness I still look young. And at first I was freaking out, and then as I kind of embraced it, now I'm loving it. I feel calmer, but I know what I want, and I know that I do want to be with a partner. I know that I do want kids, and I know that my clock is ticking. But I also know that I'm not going to.
I can hear it over here.
I know you can hear it.
I know. I'm listening to it right now. It's like I can just it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's perfect precision. It's like a vintage timepiece because you're an old soul.
Exactly,
So it's like a 50s Omega watch. You can watch it just kind of sweep really across. So keep going.
But being that Gemini, I also have that other side of me that I'm not going to push it and just force it because that's what I want. I want something that is exactly right for me and where I'm at. I'm not going to just be like, well, I need to get married and have kids. I can't do that. I can't allow myself to do that, and I'm super dedicated to my career, which there's a lot of me right now that is very much driven towards that. So in March, I made this 6-page list. I had all these details because, I say in my book, make a list and be very detailed, down to smoking, non-smoking, how he is with his family, how, whatever it is. Be very detailed, and hopefully you'll get most of it. Then I met someone and I dated them for a brief period of time, and I forgot the most important thing on that fucking list. And
what was it?
Like,
I love when the mirror shows up.
Oh shit, I realized and I said, fuck, I did not put that I would feel
safe.
So, no, I felt safe.
Okay.
That I would be attracted to him. I put all these things that I wanted, but I didn't put down, I will see in him what he's seeing in me. I will want to be with, I just assumed of course I'm going to want to be with him because he's all these things. But I didn't put that that soul connection down. I did not put the most basic thing that I would be like, oh my God, I have to be with.
Detail.
I skipped because I just assumed, of course, and so there I am. I'm like, yeah, he's got, 90% of, even 95 maybe on my list. And I was like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I could literally go, wrap my soul up in it. I just didn't feel that. And for me, it's always been a magical thing to fall in love. And the 2 times that it's happened for me, oh my God, just horrible, horrible experiences, but so amazing, and just ended so badly. And I'm still super fucked up from them. But it is the most magical thing.
Okay, so change the story about being super fucked up.
So now, I'm not. But it just,
but it kind of fucking.
It was it still haunts me,
How come?
and because it was one of them died, and then and I never got to. Yeah, we never got to finish what was going on. He was bipolar, and
he was young.
He was young, but it was just, I didn't question it because we just knew, our souls were just like this. It was so easy. As difficult as it was so easy. The love was just there. Even if we weren't together, he was with someone else or whatever, and I was mad at him for so many years before he died, and I wasn't talking to him when he died. And when that happened, it kind of goes null and void, but I know that there's a part of him that watches over me and stuff. So that was one, so that was tough. And then there was another one that is still open-ended. I don't have my closure.
Why not?
He literally should open up a school, and he is the master of ghosting, but for no reason. He will appear back in my life, and he's the one to use the term love. I never used that with him, even though this is that one person that oh my God. It's tough. So then I look at everyone and I compare them to him, even though he's this piece of shit person, but it doesn't matter because my soul still feels incomplete, and so I think that's the tough part. There's no closure to it. So I've really, oh my God, therapy and meditation and blah, 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 blah.
All the stuff we do in LA, right?
All the stuff we do in LA, eating healthy and all this stuff just to get over this person when really I know I couldn't be with him because I don't, our values are different, all this stuff, but my soul still feels missing because, a piece of it missing because of that.
He stole it.
He did, and he didn't, it's I don't know, and he recently reached out to me, and I was, it fucks me up for a good couple weeks, and I have to, put myself back in line because I know I still need to move forward with my life and be healthy, you know? So that's like, and I didn't even really go into it in my book or anything, but ooh, I got scripts, I got journals, you know, my mom and my best friend and my sister, they know it's, you know, how many times can we pick Alex up off the fucking kitchen floor and like get her, you know, somewhere safe? It's like, it's hard. It's hard. So when you talk about dating in LA, you know, with those personal details behind you, and sometime over like a bottle of Tito's, we'll talk more details. But dating in LA, okay, this is a good example. When I left New York and I said I was gonna go to LA, but I hit Miami first, I had a very dear teacher who was a very good mentor to me, and I love him so much. He said, LA has less of a soul than you can find in half a molecule of a flea, or something like that. He was like, it has no soul. And I agree, but we're here for a purpose. We're here for work, we're here for whatever we need to be here, so you gotta play the game. So I found in dating, and I actually dated someone in this building briefly.
In this building?
In this building.
Really? This must have been
horrible.
Must have been some memories when you drove
up
here.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Lord. It was very brief, but it ended horrible, and I learned a lot. That was like my stopping point. That was like the point that you make a decision in your life, which way are you going. That was here. So it brings back memories for me. But I've just found that when you talk about that soul connection, it is, people here are so, they're just not aware. You know, for all the meditation and healthy eating and awareness that we do here, people are not aware. Because I've said this before and I'll say it again, you know, I talk about, oh, I want, you know, this life in England, this and that. Sure, you could put me in a fucking box in the countryside. You could give me a cardboard box and I'd be happy. Because it's not about my car or my this or my that. It's not even about, you know, if the dude has money or don't. I want you to touch me in here. I want you to fuck my soul to, you know, to get my brain going. They always say Geminis want to be fucked mentally first. And if I don't have that entry, if I don't feel, you know, the ones, my past exes who I feel the most about are the ones that I know I had a past life with. And I'm like, damn, you know, this one, like, we still didn't get it right in this lifetime. Why? I want to finish this and be done so we can move on. You know,
it's interesting you said that because my moon's in Gemini. So that's why I go to Geminis, because I fucking, because the mind fucking.
It is. Woo!
I don't get turned on. I mean, if I'm with a woman, I mean, literally, it's like if I'm a woman, she doesn't fuck my brain or fuck my soul.
That's the Gemini.
Honestly, my dick will be like in hanging suspended animation. She could fucking look like, she could be the most beautiful physical specimen in the entire world, and my dick will not get hard.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's just because if my brain is not, I need the mind
that. Exactly.
fucking.
I went out on a date with this guy who we could have made the most beautiful fucking babies. The most beautiful dude I've ever seen in my entire life. We went on this date. He asked me out on this date, and he's a Libra, and I just sat there and I was like, I can't, like, stop talking. Shut up. Just stop talking. He didn't ask me any questions about myself. It wasn't like he was selfish. He was just like, it was just sitting there. And I'm like, I can't. Like, there's nothing about it other than you're super beautiful, but that doesn't make me want to, like, have sex with you or anything. And he is an actor, and he must have thought that I was just going to, like, pounce on him and be all over him. And I just, like, afterwards, we just sat on his couch talking, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know, there's nothing going on here. And I'm like, this is so frustrating because he's very smart, he's talented, he makes jewelry, all this great stuff. And I'm like, wow, you are selfish and boring as shit. And I can't, like, I don't understand. And so I think this lack of evolving, and I'm not saying you have to be super smart, I'm saying be aware of what's going on with you, with your life. What do you want? Have passions.
It's interesting you said that LA, I've said it over and over again, this is a soulless town. It's the airy fairy train to nowhere.
It is.
Everybody talks about being evolved here, but nobody is evolved.
No.
Everybody uses a spirituality excuse. They stick their ass up in the air and they do chaturanga and they think they're evolved. Everybody's got a guru and a spiritual healer, but they haven't healed themselves because it's a town full of me-me's. Everybody comes here to be discovered or to have something or to be something that they're probably never ever going to be.
Yeah.
And the fact is, that's what I think happens in LA. But you said something that's really interesting is that a lot of people, I dated somebody a while back and it was so, like, every day became the same. And I was like, whoa, because to me, a woman is my muse. I'm a fucking writer. I'm a speaker. I do this podcast, right? You know, I'm looking for my muse, okay? Because I'm so unstimulated. This last year, I've just been unstimulated. You know, I've had my business 17 years, and I love inspiring people, and the podcast is great. By the way, spread the podcast all over the place because you get longer ones on Thanksgiving. But I want my muse. I want to write a novel. And I mean, the novel I want to write is a fucking epic romance novel because I understand women, I understand their sexuality, I've understood them since I was a kid. I understand men and what they're not doing right and what they're doing wrong in modern society. So, but it takes, and this is funny, we all have our healers in LA, right? Went to my guy, and 3 of them, I went to 3 different sessions with 3 different people, and they all said, if I don't find my other half, my soul, my other twin soul, I'm not going to be able to ever take myself further than I've took myself. And it's funny because I hit a plateau about 19 months ago, 20 months ago, and it was unbelievable. I have been on this same plateau, and I have not gone anywhere. I have not gone up. I've gone down a little bit.
Like hanging in suspension.
I'm hanging in suspension because I know I need that other half for stimulation. Because the creativity comes because I have taken my fucking fabulous life as far as I could on my own, and I've done a great job. I made lots of money and lots of friends, and I traveled the world, but holy shit, I want to go to Venice, Italy with somebody. I want to build a house and build a life because it's the one thing I've yet to do. I've always rented or leased my women, you know, and I returned them back into the fucking dating pool with very low miles because I don't fuck them for the last year because that last year is always the tension year, you know, where we're...
Oh, you're like, how long until I can escape?
Right, where you're like laying on the bed and like, God forbid, like your knees touch in the middle of the night and you literally jump because I think spooning is the greatest thing in the entire world. I think cuddling is the greatest thing, and I think touch is the greatest thing. So
I love it. But when you are laying in bed, that is the worst feeling, I think. It is the worst feeling when you are laying in bed and you have that sinking first realization when it first hits you and you're like, this is not going to work. And then your gut feels it. And then your head starts going, no. We can make it work. It's just because I'm tired. And that's in this last, relationship. I, thank goodness, I pulled myself out before, I wasted any more of his time, before I wasted any more of my time. I'm like, wow, no, because you want this, I want this, and it's different. It is not going to work, so I'm going to separate this. And I felt that sinking feeling. I remember it so clearly. I was like, fuck.
The vision of love and that sinking feeling really sucks because what happened is, and we're going to bring you back tomorrow, you got what I call the preview person, and the worst is you're laying in bed and you look at them and you're like, oh, fuck, another movie preview. Holy shit.
Yes.
It's like, wow, how many more of these? And I think that's why I think we never should look at, and this is always the advice I give any man and any woman, age means nothing. The greatest lessons sometimes are by my 7-year-old daughter, right? So if this wise little 7-year-old can teach this man a great lesson or two, age doesn't mean anything. And when it comes down to love, people always put boundaries on it. I want to meet somebody who's 27 to 33 and 3/4. Okay, technically that's fucking wonderful. But what if somebody was 41 and 5/8? What would you do then? Because souls have no age. Now, granted, you have to physically be attracted to somebody, but I learned this lesson from a guy that I met one time. He was 72 years old and his wife was 35. And I was like, what are you doing, man? It's like, she's so fucking young. He goes, no. He goes, you'll meet her. He goes, you'll see. And I saw them together. Oh my gosh, she looked at him like he was the most beautiful man she's ever seen in her entire life. And I even asked her, I said, what is it about him? She goes, he was everything that no other man was. Yeah. And I said, what about his looks and stuff? She goes, he's a fucking stud. And he was. At 75, he didn't look it, right? He was like, Michael, fucking Stallone, he didn't age, weird facial stuff, right? Like Stallone did, and they were together, two souls that really merged. So you can see the man and the woman that have a massive age difference of like 60 to 25, and that it's an LA fucking thing, right? Yeah. And then you can see the people that actually have that soul connection, and they just said, fuck it. So today on Thanksgiving, give thanks to where you are, okay, and realize that souls have no age and turkeys are still stupid animals or birds or whatever. Where can they reach you? We're going to bring you back one more time tomorrow.
All right. Well, you can reach me at my website, alexandratheartist.com, or on social media at Queen Midas, Maitis. I am the queen. And you can
You should
get
be the
my
queen, because
book.
I'm a king.
I am.
Queens,
Yeah,
kings
that's
and queens,
what's
they go
up.
together. Fuck that.
That's
We don't
what's up.
date. I dated a woman in the
Don't
summer.
date peasants.
No, you know what she said? She says, I'm a warrior, and I teach my daughters how to be a warrior. And I look at her and I said, I don't fucking date warriors. I said, I date queens. I
Exactly.
said, and if you're going to teach your kids to be warriors, then they're fighters and survivors. That's
Yeah.
the reason why you live in fucking poverty mentality for you, and you don't make the money you want to make because you're a fucking warrior. I am a king. A king does not do a warrior. A king might have an affair with a warrior.
But that's about it.
But that's about it.
And you know what? I have had that. I have had that in one of these guys that I dated in LA. Our souls really did connect. But I knew that we could never have a life together because I knew that he was like, he was more of that type. He was more of the healer warrior type, and he was not at my level. But it was so wonderful while it lasted, and it was great to have that little blip of, wow, my soul can still connect with someone. And I still, I adore him. I just know that we can't be together.
Oh, it's the best, that blip.
Oh, so good. So go,
So
get my book,
good.
The Art of Being a Woman, learn more. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or iTunes, ebook or paperback.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving, by the way.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Spread the podcast to all the turkeys that are living a turkey life. We used to call people turkeys. I don't
Gobble,
remember why.
gobble.
Yeah, gobble this up.